All right, good Tuesday evening, Mid-Michigan. Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick with your Tuesday night weather chat. And figured we'd talk about the snow that is on the way for tomorrow. It's not going to be a significant round of snow, but probably a similar situation to what we picked up just the other night, as far as a little bit of here, a little bit there, and maybe some slippery roads as we start the day tomorrow. So just checking our live stream here just to make sure that the audio is coming through. It looks like it is. So welcome to everybody hopping on the stream with us tonight. So the first graphic that I have in there for you is our sky tracker showing that system that is currently working its way through portions of Minnesota and also into Iowa, and now it looks like into Wisconsin tonight. And that is going to bring our next round of snow primarily during the daylight hours of tomorrow. I think there is the potential that we could see a few snow showers try to start as early as maybe around the morning commute tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's going to be a huge thing, but just enough to maybe be a nuisance out on the roads. And looks like we'll have a chance to be really cold going into the day on Thursday after we get that system pretty much out of our hair. A pretty strong cold front coming through with that. And so as we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast here, as we go through tonight, it's mostly quiet. The model tries to pick up on a few flurries here and there, but I think as we go towards the morning commute tomorrow, this is when we really start to get some of that activity to move back into the area. Looks like there's a band that tries to develop. This has been pretty consistent in a lot of our data, a little bit closer to 127 as we get closer to about the morning commute tomorrow, and I'm talking the early morning commutes, but I don't think that is the main batch of snow that's going to come through. I think you'll start to see things pick up once the sun comes up. I think you'll start seeing that as we go through about mid to late morning. I don't think it'll be a rapidly evolving system over the area. I think you'll see scattered snow showers break out at first and then gradually start moving to the east as we go through the day. But you'll notice it's not the most consistent system. It breaks up from time to time, but you generally see a linear formation over most of it. And so I think by the time we get to the early parts of the afternoon, and then once we start getting into the evening, that's when it will start to make sort of that push through the thumb. And then that's when things start cooling down. So you'll notice by 7 o'clock, we're already in the 20s. Now, tomorrow's highs are right around the low to mid 30s, but we're already in the 20s by 7, which isn't unheard of. But once we get to about 11:30 midnight, we're already starting to drop into the teens. And so that shows you kind of what we're looking at as far as the rapid cool down that we expect behind that front. You'll see the northwesterly winds. And then as we head into Thursday morning, we drop even further. And if you look towards 5 o'clock on that projection for Saginaw, it's at about 10 degrees. And so that's indicating we may even have some potential at times. And if I back this up just a little bit, I think we snuck into the single digits for at least a couple of areas as we start looking at 8 o'clock on Thursday morning. So we're really starting to get into some true wintertime temperatures here. Not that it's out of the ordinary for December or anything like that, but it certainly looks like it'll be one of the colder mornings that I think we've had since about February, or at least one of the coldest days that we've had since February as far as our high temperatures go. Going into Thursday afternoon. So the big question here, just to be efficient tonight, because I don't have as much time as I usually do, the amount of snow that we expect, really insignificant. Again, probably pretty similar to what we experienced last night and early this morning. I know fog was more of a factor during the morning this time around. It wasn't just snow. But I do think it will be a similar amount where we get a little bit here, a little bit there, enough to maybe recoat the roads in some spots. And with temperatures dropping down to the 20s tonight, it's not going to have too much trouble actually sticking. So I do think it could be a nuisance out there tomorrow morning. So just want you to be careful. Here's what I want you to take a look at. Also, in addition to the snow that is coming through, is we'll fast forward a little bit into Wednesday. Let's back up just a touch. My timestamps have to be adjusted a little bit here. But let's go into Wednesday afternoon when we start to see the wind pick up. So I think you're going to notice the wind a little bit more tomorrow, some gusts right around 25 to 30 miles per hour. And so I think what you're looking at is falling wind chills as we go through the day tomorrow. So high temperatures, low to mid 30s tomorrow. the wind chill is going to make it significantly colder. It is not going to feel like that tomorrow. You might say, 30s this time of year, not bad. You factor in that wind, and we've got certainly some cooler temperatures with that tomorrow. So just be aware if you're sending the students out to the bus stops on Wednesday, you're trying to plan maybe that morning, that afternoon, some of their midday recess, if they still get recess. Definitely know that the teens are going to be around tomorrow. We may get a brief improvement as we head towards the evening. And then this is what's waiting out the door Thursday morning. We've got some wind chills that are down near zero or even dropping below. So we are not expecting to be really warm here as we end the week, and probably feels more reflective of maybe mid to late December or even January and February with some of these wind chills. Our average highs for early December are still roughly around the upper 30s. So we're off to a quick start here, and it looks like we'll keep the cooler than average temperatures at least most of the time. I would say probably through the middle of this month. And so we'll see if that continues. Long-term outlooks, of course, can and do change, but the prognosis here as we go through the month of December looks like a pretty quick start to winter. So again, that's kind of all I have here tonight. Pretty quick weather stream. Got a couple of other things I've got to work on in the background before our 10 o'clock newscast. But here's your quick 7-day. Generally expecting dry conditions Thursday. Looks like mostly dry on Friday. Chance for maybe some night snow going into Saturday. And temperatures, I think, bottom out on Thursday, get a little bit better Friday, but there's probably not much of a difference between Thursday and Friday. I think you'll start to see a more significant change towards Saturday, but you look into next week, I don't really think it lasts too long. If you look towards Tuesday, I think that's our next chance of accumulating snow. If anything changes with that, we'll let you know. Right now, I would say a couple of inches of snow Tuesday. That's what it seems to be the most likely scenario for now. But obviously, that is a significant time away, and a lot of things will change before we get there. So I'll leave this on for just another minute. So if you have a question, please feel free to pop that up really quick. Here's a look at your snowfall totals one more time. Generally about a ½ inch or less with any snow that comes through on Wednesday. I think more of a concern with the potential for some of that snow to stick to the roads, maybe ice up after being a little wet during the day on Wednesday, perhaps icing up a little bit into Thursday morning. We did have some school delays earlier today because of the freezing fog, in addition to some of the snow that came down last night. And it never really got heavy on a lot of our live cameras, but enough in downtown Flint where we saw some snow-covered streets on our Flint cam. So it doesn't look like we have a ton of questions coming in tonight. Thanks to all of you for joining once again. Pretty good crowd. More and more seem to be hopping on as we try to do these. Looks like we're generally between about 50 and 100 each night, and of course even a little bit more on more active nights. So I'll leave you with that. Please stay safe out on the roads tomorrow. I don't think we'll have major problems, but again, just knowing that sometimes that light snow comes down in cooler temperatures like this, you can find yourself getting into a little bit more trouble than you might expect occasionally. But the big story is behind this system that brings through some of that snow is we are going to be cooling down pretty rapidly. We've got teens already by late tomorrow night, more teens to start the day on Thursday, and I don't think our highs get out of the teens. So the last time we had a high temperature less than 20 was all the way back in February. So it's been quite a while. So bundle up, of course. I don't think you needed me to tell you that, but, advice is free, just like this live stream. So we will see you all tomorrow, and have a good night and have a great Wednesday.